Welcome to another match preview. Here we go again. We've done it. We've got there. Last match preview of the season. Blades versus Tottenham, a 4 p.m. Sunday kickoff. It doesn't feel right, but they're all at the same time. Not that it makes any difference for us. "101 goals conceded. That's the worst ever. I said it last match preview, only one clean sheet all season. Can we make it 2? Probably not. The lowest ever of clean sheets was 3 by that dreadful Derby County side. So no matter what, we're the worst there. We were beaten by every team in the Premier League this season, and assuming we lose against Spurs, this would mean our points total from our last 2 Premier League seasons combined would be 39 points. 3-9. Still, good news about the hotel. Right, let's talk Blades team news. So we know we've got Basham, Egan, Tom Davies, McBurney, Reece Norrington Davies, all out. Baldock, probably out. Going to move to Panathinaikos, according to all reports in Greece. By the way, check out the Greek Super League. I mean, woof, what a league. That is a league for excitement. Rhian Brewster, we know, now back. Ben Osborne felt a tight hamstring in training before Everton. We'll see if he makes Spurs. That led to 𝗂𝗂𝗂 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂 making a rather rare start. He played that kind of left wing back position, and then the returning from injury, Max Lowe, who was also a bit of a surprise on the bench, replacing 𝗂𝗂𝗂. Andre Brooks and 𝗏𝗏𝗏, they left the pitch at Goodison in the second half. Wilder said Brooksy was light-headed at half-time, so he gave him an opportunity to steer clear his head, and he was still suffering a little bit. Blaster had a tight calf, and I can't lose him for the final game of the season. I don't think it was right to risk him. Mason Holgate can return. Of course, he couldn't play against Everton because he's on loan from Everton. And Anel Ahmedhodzic will have served that suspension for the 2 yellows that he got. So as he served his suspension, will he come back? That's just a question mark and one for Wilder. Lots of rumours around that Anel will be allowed to leave. So do you play a team that's more likely going to still be here? Certainly some players. Do you play a bit of a nostalgic 11 with players that are definitely going to leave? It really is up to Wilder, and Sam Curtis could be involved. He came on at Goodison, although Wilder, what he said was interesting. He said he got his chance. I think he will look back at it and think, wow, it's a different league, a different setup, different pace to what he's accustomed to. It wasn't by any means an accomplished debut, but it's given him a taste of what the Premier League is like, how physical it is, how quick it is. He has to get up to speed if he wants to be part of everything going forward. What do you make of those comments for young Sam Curtis? And is that just Wilder's way of actually getting the best out of players? He'll probably know which players need that and which players need an arm around the shoulder. You'd certainly hope so. Now, here's what our Patreon member James thinks our lineup will be for Spurs at home. If you'd like to predict your lineup like this, you can join the Fan Hub community with the link in the description or using the code SHE-YC5. He's gone with Wes, Bogle, Holgate, Anel, Jackie Longthrow, Trusty over Osborne. Looks like Osborne's sticking around, but will Osborne be fit? Well, James thinks Trusty's more likely to be fit, so he's gone that way. We've got Hamer, R-Blaster, or Blaster as Wilder calls him, Brooks, Archer, and Ben Brereton Diaz. Will we see a send-off for some players? Perhaps Norwood. Maybe Norwood will be brought on. I think that would be quite nice. What do you think Chris Wilder will go with? Equally, if you'd like your team shared on here and to receive a whole host of other benefits, as well as support the lads at Sheff United Way, go to patreon.com/Sheff United Way. Like every episode of the Sheff United Way podcast, we're sponsored by Greene King Sport, where football is more than a game. Make Greene King your go-to destination for the season's final matches. You can watch every televised Sheffield United game and other televised Premier League matches with delicious food and refreshing beverages. And with 900 sports clubs dotted around the UK, chances are you're within walking distance of your local Greene King. Let's be honest, watching football is way better with friends and family. So get the squad together for every televised Premier League fixture in an atmosphere worth sharing. And also, don't forget, download the Greene King Sport app to enjoy exclusive competitions and discounts whenever there's a game on. Let's look at the opponents. Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Spurs injuries have piled up over the last few weeks with Destiny Udogie, Ben Davies, Bissouma, Richarlison, Timo Werner joining Solomon, Sessegnon, Fraser Foster in the recovery room. None will feature in this game. Tactically, Ange Postecoglou has changed things in the last few games, so we can't be certain on what he'll play, but it'll most likely be a 4-3-3. That's seen Spurs through the majority of the season. Vicario in goal with a back four of Porro, Romero, Dragusin and Van de Ven at left back. Now, he has experimented, Ange, with Oliver Skipp on the left of defence, but Van de Ven and Dragusin deserve the start after their performance against Manchester City. That, of course, was a 2-0 defeat for Tottenham. If we are to predict that it's going to be 4-3-3, it will be Sarr, Betancourt and Maddison in the middle, Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson. Then if you know his dad used to play football. Either side of Son in the front line. That's probably the strongest they can go with. Against City, it was actually more of a 4-4-2, 4-2-4 with Sarr and Maddison playing a false nine. It bore fruit. I mean, it didn't score goals, but it was high turnovers, controlled possession in that final third, and Tottenham looked good for large spells. Ange has teased minutes for academy players in recent weeks. Dane Scarlett came on against Burnley, and 16-year-old Mikey Moore became Spurs' youngest ever Premier League player in the last 10 minutes against City. 18-year-old midfielder, I'm aging him, Tyrese Hall, also deserves whatever minutes come his way. Looks like a very exciting prospect indeed. Now, player connections. This is players that have played for both. Who can you think of that played for Sheffield United and for Tottenham Hotspur? Now, there's your obvious couple that you're going to put together. Kyle Walker, Kyle Naughton, the two Kyles. At the time, I think we all thought Kyle Naughton was going to go on to be the better of the two. That didn't come to pass. Michael Brown, what a player for Sheffield United. A very different player when he went to Tottenham, more a defensive player. And Roger Nielsen, who was a player I really liked. So who can you think of? You know what to do. And of course, Player Connections, as always, brought to you by 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗄. 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗄 is a virtual band, and many of their members are Blades. They have a new album out. Check it out. 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗄.com is the website. That album is also on Spotify too. It's called Tall Tales of 10 Girls. 𝗵𝗏𝗶𝗄 is 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗄.com. They make good music. Predictions for this: Blades 1, Spurs 3 from our Patreon group. Adam has said that. Ollie has said Blades 2, Spurs 5. That'd be an exciting game. Darren says Spurs 4-1. We'll see about that. And Ewan, we'll see about this, says 3-1 Blades. Finishing on a positive, I admire it. What do you reckon the score will be? Also, an aside with one match to go and an average attendance of 30,009, we are looking like we're going to hit a 30k average attendance for this season. Only been done a handful of times in the last 50 plus years. So in the league, that's 540,155 attended 18 league games, which is, as I said, 30,009 per game. So we need 29,845 on the last day for an exact 30,000 average attendance. If you go back, that 2019-20 season, it was 30,869. Then, of course, a void season in 2021. Then 21-22, an average attendance of 27,611. Then 22-23, an average attendance of 28,746. Prior to this, a 30k average. We've got to go back to Premier League 06-07, which was 30,512. Back in the day when I was on the back of the cop, making all the noise. Not doing that now. Boys have got to do more. Then, not since 1971, 73, we saw it around about those times regularly. 33,189, I think, around about 71, maybe 72. That was, of course, pre-seating, so it's harder to work out. Our highest ever attendance was something I was able to work out alongside Statsman Adam, who I had this chat with, and he was very helpful and said our highest ever attendance average was 35,094 in the 1947-48 season, where we finished 12th in Division 1. Yeah, remember it well. Thank you very much for watching. Back the Blades. If you can, enjoy the last game.